repent, it's a genuine life of a real sinner. Conviction is offensive to those who live in sinful. Obedience a qualification before you enter. The kingdom wasn't given to those who ain't a member. Holy Spirit, please get on your way. Intercede for transgressions that be on my plate. Listen closely to the Father and everything He say. Open your eyes to these lies and then receive His grace. Checkmate. Out the gate, we've been running full court. These lessons get depressing when you venture off course. Narrow is the path, in the middle is the fork. If you fell before you try, that means the mission got abort. If you're scared to live this life, you need to stay up on the porch. If you look into my eyes, you see the flames of a torch. I'm giving all praises, all thanks to the Lord, who saved me from a life you couldn't imagine or endure.
Too fast, live too fast, ain't no such thing as too fast.
Well, God bless y'all, brothers and sisters. All praises be to the Most High. My name is Brother Raven.
My name is Marcus. All praise to the Most High.
Brother.
What's
They
happening,
caught us
bro?
with another ham sandwich.
Another one. And another one.
Hey, man. I only got one question, brother. What happened to the hood, man?
Man. What
Do
happened?
you see Do you see what's going, bro? I just sent you a video of some youngsters driving in a car, hit the corner doing 60, one hanging out the window, hit the pole, and they. It ain't funny though. But clearly, the Lord Jesus Christ was with that brother. He didn't fly out the window. He didn't die. All he did was fall to the ground.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Hey, ain't no structure out here, bro. Ain't no structure.
Let me ask you this: was it structure when you was growing up?
Yeah, it was a structure, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though they had us out there doing this and doing that, it still was a big homie to tell us, like, okay, go to school. When you get out of school, then you can come to the block. You know what I'm saying?
Where you for the record? Let the people know, where'd you grow up at?
Chicago, Illinois.
What part? West side, south side, north side?
The west side, 290. You did.
What up, Fall? Look, you was one of them. You was a Fall, huh? Fall called us. Hey, man, what happened to the hood, man? Do you see what's going on in this generation right now?
Yeah, man. It's like I say, bro, ain't no structure, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know how they say every man for himself? Is every kid for himself.
Mm. Well, I like to think that the hood just didn't get like this overnight. It was some things that led up to the craziness and the abomination that we see today. And don't get it twisted, brothers and sisters. I'm not glorifying the hood for what it portrays and what it produces, as far as the violence, the drugs, the prostitution, the gangsterism, or lack thereof in this generation. But what I mean is the hood was the ghettos of America was a place. If you look at the 50s and the 60s and 70s, there was a struggle, there was a cause. Look at the civil rights movement, look at the Martin Luther King era, look at the Malcolm X era, look at the Black Panther era. I ain't talking about that Wakanda fool. I'm talking about the real Black Panther that started in East Oakland, California, where I'm from. You hear me?
Yes,
I'm talking about it was a cause. It was a reason to fight. What James Brown said? He said, "Say it loud."
I'm black and I'm proud.
Then you know the words. You know what I'm talking. Could you imagine growing up back in the 60s and 70s, bro, during the civil rights movement when people was marching and getting attacked by dogs? One thing I noticed about us black folks, we stood together. on one common ground, and we wanted equal rights. We wanted civil rights. We wanted to be treated like a whole human and not 1/3 of a 1/4 of a whatever 2/3 or 2/5 of a human, like how they said in the Constitution. But in the hoods in America, there was a reason to be proud for the color that we had and scared at the same time because of the oppression that was going on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
What happened from the 60s, from the civil rights movement up into the early 80s? Drugs! That's what happened. Everybody mama was on dope. Aunties,
Yeah.
uncles, everybody on coke.
Yeah, you ain't lying. You ain't lying.
Bruh.
That crack era was something different, bro.
Bro, I was born in 85, so I'm a shady 80s crack baby. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I remember growing up in the early 90s, bro, when I was about 5 years old, man. I remember nothing but gold donkey ropes, old schools on Zenas and Foes. I remember hustlers, pimps, whores walking out the door. You know what I'm talking about? And I grew up in East Oakland, California, 79th and 9th Street. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay.
So, what... And crack, what people really don't, a lot of people probably know, but what a lot of people don't know, crack first hit East Oakland, California, because it was a COINTELPRO, a black ops from the CIA, from the FBI, to try to get rid of the Black Panthers. They flooded the streets with the crack cocaine, this new cocaine that came out that was so much more addictive and so much more powerful. It was like an atomic bomb that blew up in the hood.
Yeah.
That destroyed a whole generation.
Wow. That's crazy, because I'm sure I know it was crack back then in Chicago, but like what I grew up around, bro, like I grew up around real like gang members, bro. Like wasn't no selling no drugs or breaking into no houses. They were just straight pure gang banging and killing, bro. That's it, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me ask you this. And the time that you grew up in, I'm assuming it was the early 90s, right?
Yeah.
The gangs, I remember hearing about the gangs in Chicago, like you wore your hat a different kind of way to show what kind of gang you was from.
Yeah. So if you wear your hat to the right, you're a gangster disciple. You wear your hat to the left, you're a Vice Lord, a Blackstone, or like you said, a folk on the hustler.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know growing up and hearing about the Midwest, y'all, like you said, it was structured. Like you had to have you had to recite some stuff. You had to know your handshakes. If somebody came and addressed you and asked you for a certain laws, kind of was if you didn't know them, you got DP, which is discipline.
Yep. You gotta know the handshake for sure. You know what I'm saying? Most importantly, you gotta know your oath. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know your principles. You gotta know what you stand on. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that was about back then. But now, like I say, every kid for himself now, bro. Because these ain't nothing but little kids out here going crazy, bro, doing the drugs and killing, bro. It's sad.
As much as we can say, because I'm pretty sure when we was growing up, our grandparents looked at us as we was crazy, them being from the civil rights era. I know they was looking at us like, this is what we marched for, this is what we protested for, this is what we had boycotts and buses, and this is what we fought for y'all to act a fool. So our grandparents could look at us and say we crazy. So it's only right for us to look at the next generation and say they crazy. What I want to know is what attributed to the craziness that we see today, and what's going on now that didn't go on back when we was growing up.
Well, what?
And mind you, this is the '90s era I'm talking about.
What contributed to it was the movies, like you said, Menace to Society. That was one of the first movies I ever seen.
Hey, Menace to Society destroyed a generation, bro. Everybody wanted to be like O-Dog.
Yeah, bro. That was the first real live gangster movie that I ever seen. You know what I'm saying? So everybody wanted to be that. Like you said, O-Dog. You know what I'm saying? Kane. You know what I'm saying? What's the other dude? What's the Muslim brother name?
Oh, Sharif. Hey, look. hey, you know what? You know what else? That line that I knew for sure killed the consciousness and made it really a bad thing in the hood to be a smart guy. That part when Sharif was trying to tell O-Dog and he was at the park, he was trying to show him something like, man, nobody want to hear that, Sharif.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember that line, bro. Because
Yeah.
anytime you try to bring anybody some knowledge, somebody will refer to that line. If you try to raise anybody's consciousness, if you try to come with any kind of intelligence, somebody always says, "Man, don't nobody want to hear that, Sharif." You was labeled Sharif, somebody who was who had a high intellect, who was trying to bring his brothers out of the hood, take us out of that mentality. But
Yep.
he was demonized in that movie
Yep.
and in real life.
Yep. And
How
that's crazy.
powerful did movies have an impact?
Super, super, bro. It was very powerful, bro. Very, bro. It was very powerful, man. For real.
We can look at the music today and say these kids is crazy, but listen to the music that we had growing up to. In the 90s, that's when the NWA era, that's when the gangster rap was at its highest peak. I remember in
Yeah.
the early, like 91, 92, 93, it was a black consciousness going on. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? We had the groups where they was raising the vibration of the consciousness of the black man. There was an educational knowledge. Once the industry seen that, they said, "Oh no, we got to put a stop to this." Then they hit us with the gangster rap.
And that's crazy though. You know what I'm saying? Like you really, really think about it. Like we had this music to wake us up. We had that conscious music. And all of a sudden we got nothing but straight gangster music. Like it's a trap, bro. They did it on purpose.
So let me ask you this: are you mad at the people that did it to us, or are you mad at our people for not being hip to it?
I gotta say, I'm mad at my people, bro. I'm mad at my people, bro. Because at one point we got lost. At some point in between that we got lost. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have the grandmothers. We grew up having the grandmothers and the grandfathers that was reminding us about what they was doing, boycotting the bus. That was reminding us about Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. Like we grew up in that era, but now these kids don't know nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? We don't have nobody to remind us about where we came from and why we here now. Why we able to get on the bus and sit on the front of the bus or sit wherever we want to sit on the bus. You know what I'm saying?
You know, you just said something that really just caught my attention. You said we ain't got nobody to tell these youth of where we come from. If you don't know where you came from, you definitely ain't gonna have no direction where you're going. That sounds like a generation of young black kids that's identityless.
Yep.
I
Yep.
know what I noticed about other cultures, like Spanish, Chinese, and even Indian. I noticed that they still got customs and traditions that they've been passed down, and they still follow from 4, 5, 600 years ago.
Yeah, bro. Because it's been taught to them like as a young kid. When they come out the womb, they being taught. We not being taught this, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's generations after generations after generations of okay, my grandmama was a crackhead. Okay, my mama might not be a crackhead, but my daddy, he gang banging. You know what I'm saying? He sell crack. So all of that is falling into the same pool. You know what I'm saying? And we drowning. We drowning, bro.
This generational thing, bro. These other cultures, what I see, they not just even handed down the traditions and the customs though. They actually make it a priority to
Mm,
embed it into their kids.
mm,
Keep in mind, every race I name, like Chinese, Spanish, they come from their country,
yeah.
and they came from their country and they kept their traditions and customs. What happened to us? Why when we got off the boat we didn't keep ours?
Cause, bro, we was brought over here to lose, bro. We weren't brought over here to win. Every other race, nationality that you just named, it's okay for them to win. It's okay for them to have. It wasn't okay for us. So we got to work 100 times harder to get to that level. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so much stuff being against us, bro. Like being segregated. Like, come on, man. Like we got a liquor store, gun store. You know what I'm saying? On every corner, bro. You feel me? Not to mention you got churches on every corner. The pastor ain't coming out talking to these people on the block. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, bro.
You said something too when I said who you mad at. You mad at the people that, because we all know by now. I mean, you can Google this. It was systematically designed for us. You know what I'm saying? Through the redlining, through the what's the gentrification, through all that time. I don't even want to make it about a race thing and how somebody is keeping us oppressed. Because at the end of the day, if you fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, shame on me. At this point, what we see right now is a choice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I see you could have kicked that back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, even the early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
When the internet exploded and the entrepreneurship became at an all-time high, we chose to put out the music that we putting out. We chose to star into the movies that we wanted to choose to star into, make us look like the way we look.
Yeah.
So what happened to the hood? We all had a number. Everybody had a number. They said, I'm finna get out this cesspool. I'm finna get out this poverty, and I don't care what I got to do it. I don't care if I got to put out this music. I don't care if I got to play this role. I'm gonna get out of this slum. I'm getting out of this poverty. So guess what? The mindset of thinking about yourself has put a whole. It's like the music I listen to right now, like the music that's out right now. I look at this rap music like how crack was in the 80s. A couple people got rich, but it destroyed a generation.
And that's real talk, though, bro. That's real talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you gonna do? I'm gonna give a 16-year-old, 17-year-old boy from the hood $1 million. You know what I'm saying? Just because he moved from out the hood, he still got that mentality, bro. This is where I'm from. This is where I came from. So instead of me buying land with that $1 million, I go spend this money on guns and drugs.
It's a lot of key factors now that I'm thinking about it that played a part into what we see in today in every ghetto and every hood in America. Like I remember back in the early '90s, there was even though we had the crack and we had the gangster rap, there still was a consciousness. It was still a high level of intellectual knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
I
We still
remember
have
back.
people to listen to. We still have people to listen to.
Exactly. I remember back in like 95, 96, it was a prestige thing to own a black college sweater. Higher learning was at an all-time high. Yeah. Like people was pushing higher learning.
Yeah.
I remember if you walk in the Bay Area, you seen people read books. You could ride on a BART. You could go to Lake Merritt. You could see people in San Francisco, Berkeley. You seen people reading books. Now look, people stop flipping pages and they start to scroll now. Now it's scrolling.
That's it. That thumb. That's all they working. They working this thumb. They ain't working them brain cells.
And you know what? Your brain is a real muscle that if you don't exercise it, it'll turn obese.
It's a fact, bro. It's a fact.
What's some other key factors that played a part in the destruction of the society, and especially in the ghettos in the hood?
So we went to it came from the crack. So now these kids doing what's the opioids? You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, hey, everybody trying to race to see who can die the fastest. Look, everybody's trying to race to see we're gonna take some Perch, we're gonna take some lean, we're gonna take some Xannies, we're gonna take some, and we're gonna put it all in the cup and see who can die the fastest.
And that's the thing, bro. Like back then, bro, you wasn't seeing too many young kids on drugs. Now they on drugs, bro. Young, 12, 13, 14 years old. Like doped out.
I remember the most, like growing up, if you did anything other than smoke weed or drink, you was a dope fiend. If you did anything, I don't care if it was an E pill, I don't care if If you did anything besides smoke weed or drink alcohol, you was a knock.
Yep.
I remember when ecstasy came out in the early 2000s, and out here we had this rapper called Mac Dre who had the whole entire West Coast. Fizz is what it is. That was the beginning of
Yeah.
the futures and the trippy reds and the juice world. That made room for these rappers to come out. Back then we had gangster rap, but the most they ever did was like smoke weed or drink.
Yeah.
But this 2000 rappers, they was like your favorite dope fiend.
Yeah.
They was rapping about the drugs and Percocets, and Molly's, and all that. Like it became cool.
Yep. Yep. But that's another thing that, man, that brought us to where we at now. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing. What else you think?
I can attribute it to a lot of movies that we've adopted.
Okay.
Not like a lot of the predictive programming, a lot of stuff that became famous, like especially like with the guns and stuff like that. You hear it in the rap song first.
Yeah.
The Dracos and the FNNs and the what I'm saying, the switches and all that type of stuff like that. I remember when we was growing up, if you had like a any kind of AK, that was like the AK was like the top gun to have in the hood. You had
Mm.
one of them, that was like the Escalade of the Escalons. You feel me? Now it's the switches with 30s and 100 round drums, and it's like who you funking it with, bro? Like, bro. I'm talking about these kids. These kids nowadays, all they want is a pole with a drum on that thing. You feel me?
That,
They
that's
don't
it.
have no other inspiring dreams or aspirations. It's just I want this stick with this pole on it.
That's it, bro. That's all they care about, bro. They care about, man, who got the biggest gun. You know what I'm saying? Or who got the longest clip. Or you got an extendo? They don't want it if it ain't no extender on that joint. For real.
What happened to the hood, my brother, and what we gonna do about it?
Man, bro. We just hope, just pray for them, bro. And we gotta be the ones that give them hope. You know what I'm saying? Like, like I said, like the last podcast, like we gotta go in these hoods, bro, and we gotta show them, we gotta tell them. You know what I'm saying? No, we can't just tell them. We have to show them so they can see it. Like that's the only way, bro. And of course, God, bro, God.
You know what? You said something too. Is I remember when I was out there, and I remember when like the church people would try to come up and ask if they could pray for us and tell us we shouldn't be doing this. You're killing your own people. Hit me
Mm.
with that line, and I used to always be like, you know what? If you got something better for me to do, then I'll quit right now. I remember I said that to somebody one time. It's like you can't tell somebody to stop doing something unless you got something better for them to do.
Yep, yep.
That each one teach one only matters when you got a community and you got an alternative for something else to go. It's like you don't quit one job until you get another one, right?
No, exactly, exactly, exactly.
So for us brothers who is seeing the deterioration of the youth, for us who care to make a difference, we gotta not only show them, but we gotta have something for them.
Yep, yep.
We gotta have some for them to show them another way. It ain't just about telling nobody no more or preaching a whole bunch of messages.
That's real talk. And another thing, we gotta raise our kids up right. You know what I'm saying? Because it's generational. You know what I'm saying? So we raise our kids up right. Hopefully, when they get grown, they can raise their kids up right. You know what I'm saying? And so on and so forth. You know, but it starts in the house too, bro. Because this is why a lot of these kids is lost, bro. They ain't got nobody to love them, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They wasn't spoiled growing up. They don't know what being spoiled is about, or how it feels to be spoiled by your mother or your father or even your grandma. You feel me? Because the grandmas now, they in the club too.
Bruh.
You feel me?
Bruh.
You know what I'm saying?
Grandma 45, she still thinks she a hot young thing.
For real, bro. Grandma not watching the kids no more, bro. You feel me? Grandma, she out kicking it too, man. That's what's wrong, bro. We ain't got no more elders out here, bro. that's caring for the kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's another problem as well.
You know what? The biggest trick I seen that the industry pulled on us was making us say "f the police." Because guess what? We wasn't teaching our kids to try to become the police.
Mm, mm,
We
mm,
had a whole Black Lives Matter wave that went through here, right?
mm.
About the police killing black folks, but we didn't even care about us killing each other,
Each other.
nor did we even try to tell our kids, how about you go to school to become the next DA? How
Mm,
about you go to school to become the next FBI? You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? How do you beat something except unless you integrate yourself into it?
mm.
Don't you know? And where I'm from, in the Bay Area, like you're liable to run into a police officer that's police in the neighborhood. You're liable to run into him at Walmart, at your supermarket, at the club, because they live there. So it's a
Word.
different level of respect. Out here in Sacramento, you got police officers policing here that don't even live, that live 2-3 hours away from here. So
Wow.
the only thing they thinking about when they leave their house is I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to make sure I make it back to my wife and my kids.
Yeah.
That's where all the shootings and stuff come from. That's where you know what I'm saying, the fear of the cop comes from, where he's just gonna pull his trigger and at any slight, at any kind of threat, anything. You know what I'm saying? And most of the time, your threat is the color of your skin.
And you know that's kind of crazy because now that you say that, bro, it's like I ain't never known nobody say, "Oh, I live next door to a police officer." you know,
Never ever.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
You know what made me think about that? When the Trayvon Martin thing happened. Remember when Trayvon Martin case happened?
yeah,
What trip me out is because I'm a black father. If I knew I lived in a nice community, right, who had break-ins and stuff like that, and I knew I had a Zimmerman walking around that's, you know what I'm saying, want to be top flight, want to be a good Samaritan. If I knew that he was a neighborhood watch dude, when my son that was 6'5", black young male, when he moved into the neighborhood, you know what I would have did? I'd have took my son over to him and introduced him to him.
yeah,
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Hey, look, this is my son. He just moved over here. I just want him to get to know. We don't think like that.
yeah, yeah,
We have this F the police attitude. We emotional.
yeah, yeah, and this is crazy, and that's generational too, bro. Growing up, hey, don't talk to no police, bro. You feel me?
We was
Something,
taught to hate him before we even got to know him.
yeah, bro. Something happened now. We ain't calling no police, bro. We gonna handle this ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Cause you calling the police, you labeled as being a snitch.
Ain't that crazy?
Mm,
That's the trick that the songs and the industry put on us.
mm, mm.
We teaching our kids to hate them instead of we telling them become a police officer so you can come and police this neighborhood so we ain't got no more crookedness going on.
Real talk, bro. Real talk.
We
That's
ain't teaching our
talk.
kids go be the judge.
Real talk. That's wild. Wow, you just opened my eyes up to something, bro. Because I ain't even really even thought that ahead. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
It's a
what.
lot of things that happened to us that played off our emotions that allowed us to have this ignorant mentality that got us in the position that we're in today.
Yeah, that's a
And
fact.
it's all ignorance, bro. It's ignorant. I can work with ignorance. I can't do nothing with stupid. Ignorance can be learned. You can
yeah,
train and teach ignorance. Ignorance means I don't know.
yeah,
It's the not knowing of knowledge. But
right.
stupid, it sees the truth, sees the problem, and go like this. Look, don't want to face it. Look, like, that's stupid. The truth right in your face, but you want to. You know what I'm saying? That's
Real.
stupid.
Yeah, that's a fact, though, bro. That's a fact. That's a fact.
And you know the biggest hypocrisy I heard was the Black Lives Matter. How can Black Lives Matter when we got all the abortion clinics in the hood?
Mm.
We're aborting babies like I think it was the number was like 553 million aborted fetuses from the Planned Parenthood. Now
Wow.
that's a combination of blacks, Hispanics, and all that type of stuff too. But they put them in the hood to get rid of us.
Exactly. Exactly. Cause they have.
So how do Black Lives Matter? I know God looking at that like y'all hypocrites. Nah, that's why you got the police killings. That's why you got the mistreatment from all the other races. That's why because it's hypocritical to say Black Lives Matter, but we are aborting kids left and right, and we're killing each other left and right too. That's another thing.
Yeah, man.
We don't march when we kill each other. Only when a police officer do it. Ain't that crazy? That's ignorance.
Wow. And that's a fact, though, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like Like I'm from Chicago, right? But they named my city Chirac. And the reason why they named it Chirac, because that one year they had more killings than they did in Iraq. Like,
That's
think about it, bro.
sad.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's ridiculous out here, bro. It's ridiculous, man. Like, some gotta change, bro. We need to start like they need to start putting the YMCA's back in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Programs for the kids, something they can do after school. You know what I'm saying? Before and after school programs. Like, ain't none of that going on, bro. You know what I mean? Abandoned schools it is in the hood, bro. Let alone abandoned houses, but you got abandoned schools, bro. Like, come on, man.
You know, I think we've become addicted to our music. We've become addicted and the fiends to our social media. We've become addicts. We've become drunk. You know what I'm saying? In our own emotions and our own ignorance. Now, if a drunken person wanted to get off being an alcoholic, what would he have to do?
First, you have to admit it.
Say it again.
First, you have to admit it. Admit
First
that.
step to recovery is knowing that you have a problem.
Yep.
First things first, you have to acknowledge the problem. You got to acknowledge the music we choose to listen to. You got to acknowledge the movies we're choosing to watch. We got to acknowledge that our kids are looking at the adults and they're mimicking everything that we do. The
Everything.
first step to recovery is admitting you got a problem.
Yep.
Then you can begin the road to recovery.
Yep. Yep.
See how it works? If you want to change the hood, first you got to admit what the problems is. It's
Yep.
accountability.
Yep.
And until us black folks, until the all the hood people, until we ready to have that conversation, we gonna continue to just disintegrate and yeah, we gonna keep going down, man.
Yeah.
Deteriorate.
I mean, I'm talking about at a full speed. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nothing slowing down, bro. Ain't nothing gonna slow down, bro. Unless, like you say, bro, we gotta admit, we gotta see the wrong and change the wrong. You know what I'm saying? And be willing to accept my neighbor or my brother telling me, "Oh, I'm a lame." You know what I'm saying? Be willing to accept the negative and the criticism you're gonna get because of you see what's wrong and you willing to change. Like, for real.
Ain't that crazy how we deem something as positive as, like you said, lame or you bootsy or you weak? Ain't that crazy how we glorify death,
Hmm.
but we hate life?
Mm.
We glorify death, bro, with the music and the movies and stuff we watch. We glorify that, man.
Wow.
And we hate life.
Mm.
Somebody that's trying to live and do the right thing, we hate that.
Wow. You hit it on the head with that one, bro. Like, straight up. That's the truth, man. Man. Mm.
What happened to the hood, man?
Backwards, bro. It's so backwards out here, man. It ain't even
No, the
funny.
Bible tells us that in the last days, God's going to hand us over to a strong delusion where we will have a reprobate mind. Reprobate mind just means the things that are wrong, you'll claim it to be right. And the things that are right, you'll deem it as wrong.
Mm. That's a fact, bro.
When I see a bunch of little girls watching a Sexy Red video repeating the words, and if you look into the comments, everybody going, "Oh, you've been handed over to a reprobate mind."
For real, though, bro. Like, for real, bro. And they don't even understand it, bro. Like, they being brainwashed, bro, at a young age. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't know no better. Literally, bro, we got babies raising babies, bro. Literally, bro. They might be grown, but the baby in the mind, bro.
What happened to the hood, man? What happened to the hood, man? The hood was a beautiful place, man. It was a struggle that we all endured together that we went through. I remember going to the store, getting a carton for milk and getting one from Mr. Frazier down the street. I remember when I used to see people mow somebody grass. You know what I'm saying? They always mowed Pat Henry grass because, you know what I'm saying, he was an Army war vet. He couldn't get out the bed like that. The hood had produced. We was poverty. We didn't have nothing, and what we was happy with the little that we didn't have.
I mean, I remember actually being able to stand outside and have fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not even worry about nobody coming through the what they call it coming through slide. You know what I'm saying? They didn't even have to worry about that, bro. Like, it was good, bro. You go to the corner store. You know what I'm saying? We weren't old enough to buy cigarettes, so grandma write a note. You know what I'm saying? Take it to the corner store to get grandma her cigarettes at a young age. Like, everybody knew everybody. Everybody trust. You know what I'm saying? They was helping each other back then, bro. Now, like, I don't even care what you're going through. I'm I'm out for mines and mines only.
What happened to the hood was the morality didn't get passed on to this next generation. I see a lot of selfishness going on. Like I remember growing up, right? When you got your first little job, and you was especially if you grew up in a single parent home, when you got your first little part time job, getting paid $5.50 for minimum wage. Remember that? Remember when you got your little 20 hours, you got your little check. You brought the check home to the house because you ain't got no check. See, the check you made was for the house.
Mm-hmm.
Those morals and values has deteriorated. These kids are selfish enough for themselves.
Real
There's
talk.
no authoritative figure that's pressing the lines of morality, of integrity. That's what's happened to the hood, man. It left. I remember when the Black Panthers. When I don't remember, I was by the time I was born, they was already like the drugs and cleared the way for that. But I remember my mom and them. My mom, her stepdad was Black Panthers and stuff like that. And I remember they used to tell us stories about how they used to had a free lunch program, how they had to go march, and they was out there with free Huey Newton buttons and hats, and you know what I'm saying. I
Mm-hmm.
remember those stories, bro, and them were stories from a cause that was needed to be fought. It
Yeah.
was a sense, even though we don't have our real true heritage, you know what I'm saying? It was when we was going through the civil rights, bro, it was something about going through it together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I remember like it was a unity that was created that the established people seen and they had to get rid of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's power when we come together, man.
It
It's
is, bro.
power when we on one accord and we all trying to seek one goal. Because if you remember the civil rights, they took on Martin Luther King, Michael. They took on the strongest army in the world, and they did it without firing not one shot. They all became turtles. They was
Yeah.
soft on the outside, hard on the outside. They was willing to stick their neck out.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, and they really was ready to die for a cause. You know what I'm saying? Like, dying for my people. They stood on what they believed. They stood on what they was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Even if I gotta die behind this, it's a reason.
And a
Like,
lot of people did.
you know what I'm saying? Back then, the people didn't take that for granted. Now, the young man, they don't even know.
They dying over social media Instagram posts,
Real talk, bro. Real
just in the
talk.
wrong hood diss songs.
And look, and dissing dead people though.
Yeah, I remember the greatest diss song we heard was Tupac "Hit 'Em Up." That
Yeah.
was like the in the '90s. That was like the most best diss song ever of our generation. Now they took in dissing to a whole nother level.
Level. Mm. A whole nother level, bro. Like, for real. Crazy.
At the end of the day, my brother, if we want to make a change, we gotta be the change. Michael Jackson went line when he said, "I'm gonna start with the man in the mirror."
Uh,
If a
so,
man don't got something he willing to die for, he ain't fit to live.
yeah. Yeah.
A man with a purpose is the most fearful thing from the established order.
That's a fact, bro.
Because you can't scare him. You can't buy him with nothing.
You can't take nothing from them. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't do nothing to them, bro. But that's what they afraid of, bro. So they gotta feminize the man, bro. So we won't wake up feeling like a man. Wake up feeling like we have a purpose because we got that. What they call it? We got that. What's we call it in us? Like
Testosterone.
you know what I'm. We got it in us. You feel me? Now, bro. Man, look, man. You got sensitive thugs. You know what I'm saying? You got man, it's crazy, bro. For real.
At the end of the day, my brother, I know what we doing over here at Be Strong and Courageous. We actually putting that no words to play, man. You know what I'm talking about? And for all those who don't know, come check us out, man. BSC. You know what I'm saying? Be Strong and Courageous, man. We trying to make a difference. We ain't trying. No, we are making a difference.
Oh, yes.
You know what I'm saying? Look, one state at a time.
Yep. That's it. That's it. That's it, bro. You looking for something that's gonna sterilize your mind. You know what I'm saying? Something that's gonna make you want to wake up every day and do something positive. Always putting God first. Come on over to Be Strong and Courageous, man.
Hey, come to Be Strong. You tired of executive producers all in the videos? Hey, come to Be Strong. Hey, man, that's all we got for y'all right now, man. We're going to be coming back with a part 2, man. This is just an introduction, though. But what happened to the hood, man? Ask yourself some questions. Do an evaluation. Go back on your childhood and look at what's going on today. Look at what actually attributed to the destruction, to the demise, to the disrespectfulness that these youngsters is out here doing. And then take accountability to say you had a part to play in it. You know, evil prevails when good men stand by and do nothing. Rule of thought. God bless y'all, brothers and sisters. Remember, be strong.